So I'm going to share the Facebook. Yeah, but if you come and comment, will be cutting is okay. We will be shelf here. There's one there. There's I know there's one. Unplug it. I have to start now. Well, so Arium, my camera. Okay, it is live here. So hello guys, and you're welcome to this stream. Hi guys, and you're welcome to this stream. Jamila, I could see you've joined. Well done, nice, nice. So we'll be having a very great time, and I hope you're doing well. If you're there, say aye. Please marking your attendance if you're already in here. If you're in here already. Let's see. Jamila, are you there? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, confirm that. So this is an introductory kind of class to graphics, and then we'll be talking about the very basics of graphics. And the reason I've decided to start with an online thing is because, of course, it takes us some time for us to set up our devices for the appropriate application. And I hope we are getting set for the best of this experience. If you're excited about this, can you just drop a comment in there, and so I can be sure that you're there with me. Oh, great. Lovely. So starting it off now, I'm just gonna be introducing you again. Like I mentioned, this is the introductory class, and we'll be starting off with the very basics and what comes together, what makes graphics design, what exactly is graphics, and what exactly is design. Graphics, of course, you can say it is synonymous to design. But when we say something is graphics, it means it appeals to visual. It means you can see it. It's something that you can see. And design has to do with some level of organization, following some principles, and doing things just the way it should be done. But today, first, let's open a blank page, and the very first common thing, what do you think we should do? A poster, a flyer, or just any random? What do you think we should learn with? You can put down your comments down there. You can put your comment down there as a way of engaging. Let me know what you want us to start with. A flyer. Okay, so we'll go for a flyer. Now we'll click on flyer. Yes, this is Canva, and Canva is an online graphics designing software. It allows you to do possibly anything you want to do, and it's also AI powered, meaning that it has the ability to think and make suggestions for you. So you go to canva.com. The link will also be put in the description below the stream, after the stream. All right, so I'll just click on flyer. Let's see what Canva suggests to us. I click on flyer. First, I expect it to give me a blank template, and then it will give me suggestions on this part of the screen. Now I think we're having some struggle with network at the moment, and then we just be patient. Yeah, we'll be
Okay, here we go. So we've got a blank sheet. So for everything you want to do, whether writing, whether drawing, whether designing, did something digitally, what you have first before you is a blank paper, blank sheet, and then you have to start building. But many things comes together to make graphics. And we'll take an instance of this to explain. This is a sample flyer generated, of course, a template already in there, and then I'll be discussing this. Oh, Hydrobit, he said, yeah, you don't have any other device. It's okay, just be on the live stream here, and then you can comment below, communicate below. If you've got any questions, missed anything out, just let us know in the comments, and then from there we can take it up. We'll be able to fix the Discord thing later. Presently we are unable to use it for some reasons. So now let's quickly get into this podcasts flyer. This is what you've got in here, and there are principles that are also gonna be, and I'll be referring to in this particular session. But first, let's look at this. What are the things that makes up this flyer? We've got texts, we've got an image, which I would say is a graphic, and then we've got another text, and then we have color, the background. And in the text we've got colors too. So you can say graphics design is a combination of text, images, and colors. Text, images, and color. Don't forget, in this context, if you're having more complex design, you can say it's a combination of graphics, text, shapes, images, and colors. Let's pull all of this apart. I'm going to pull everything apart so you see a blank sheet and see where we're starting from and where we're going to. Now you can see what is happening to this is getting more disorganized, like something hasn't happened from the genesis. There are not any elements attached. You can't even say at this point what this is all about. And take a look at this at the later. This is a good blank sheet before you. A blank sheet before you. You're meant to build, and you've been expected or asked to design a podcast flyer. What is the first thing you have to think of? For anyone who is a professional graphic designer, will expect that they should first start with a sketch, and that sketch is gonna be like a layout sort of thing. The layout helps you make some decisions in advance before you get into your design interface. So we can tell the first thing you have to sketch. If you ask me, I will say the first thing you have to think about is the content of your design. What did I say? The content of your design, which is the most important element of what you'll be doing. Let's think about it in another way. I want to design a podcast flyer. The first thing I have to think of is, what is the message? The message could be, oh, I'm starting off a podcast channel and it is about sports. What kind of sports? It is about football. What kind of game? And then you give the specific right in there. So that's one. And the next thing you have to think about is, of course, how will you convey this message? How will you convey this message? And who are the audience? The audience will determine how you will design the message and how you convey it. But then, before we start going into the complexities of that, let's move on with what we've got before us. I've just given you that poser so you can start thinking about that. Now, we've got a blank sheet before us, and then I'm bringing all of those elements back in place. First, your background. Sometimes it's the first thing you decide if you already have a knowledge of it, and sometimes it is the last thing you decide, or something you tweak much later. The next thing is to begin to build structures. But then, this is not in the order of how you will go about the process. But think about it. Now, we've got a background, text, we've got the structure getting in place. It's looking organized, like something is building up from the foundation to the top. And then, the dot up there is to sort of establish a balance, like to call your attention. And then I'll continue, and then we see a very big image, very instructive and informative. What is this talking about? Giving you an image of a ear, meaning podcasts as we know it appeals only to the ear. It speaks, you listen to it, that is your most sensitive organ, and we've got the ear image in there. And then it says it's streaming every Friday. This is an information. And then we've got the website there, and we've got the time, and then the title. But there's something wrong with the title. It's not organized with the dots. There, this is better placed. So think about this. For graphics, we've got podcast, the headline, which is the main message, and then the image to reinforce the message. And we've got streaming every Friday, meaning that is a particular time that this particular podcast will be streaming at 10 p.m. The next most important thing is according to the poster designer and or the creators of this flyer, is their handle. It could be Twitter, it could be Instagram, it could be, I don't know, but they have not specified. But if you want to do yours better, you need to specify what channel, and they've got a website. And this is a placeholder. It could be extra information for your consumers. Yeah, moving on. Let's talk about hierarchy. There's something called hierarchy in graphics. Hierarchy is the placement and arrangement of text from the order of most important to the least important. From most important to the least important. And you can identify hierarchy either by the text size, the image size, the shape size, the color, or the placement. The placement could be from the top, or it could be a bold type. But in this case, we see that the biggest font size here is the podcast, 79.4, and this is 62.4, meaning this is the main message, but it's been assisted with this visual. So this has taken over 70% of your workspace. Why is this? Because that is the message. Because what? That is the message. Now, if you've got that sorted, then every other information can begin to flow in. Is that making sense? If that's making sense to you, let us know in the comments. But then, let's do something. Let's design something. What should we design? Flyer for what? I'll be waiting while you're thinking. What kind of flyer do you think we should design? I understand you may have some latency, some delays in your reception, but if you click on live, it will take you to the spot on moments that we are in. So we're on flyer, but I'll just pick a random thing. Let's think about anything I've got in my uploads. Let's say I like to design. I'm not having the best of network at the moment, but we'll make do what we have. I'm not so sure why. Okay, let's design something with this. Yeah. So now I want to advertise a clothing for a church program. Okay. All right. For a church program. All right. We've got, for instance, a church. Yeah, I've got a church logo here. The King's Church, Gillian. This is a main message. And we have its rights in between. This is gonna be a just quickly rough design. And what would they be doing? What do you think they should be doing? And while we're thinking through that, I'll put some other architectures which will not be important, but then to build a structure, we've got this, which is like a branded social icon, and I put that at the basement. Yeah. If the church has got a website, I should be thinking about how to communicate the website link. Right. A network provider has been disappointing me recently. All right. So I'll just bring this in a shape. And definitely I would want to work out this color to communicate my brand color. And I click on the color thing. When I click on the color thing, it then pops out the color templates, the color palettes. In this case, you can see that I have a brand kit already based on the colors I've used that's suggested, and it's a photo. In this particular photo, which is one below here, it has suggested this. That's the AI power of Canva. And for this particular headline, I've got these suggestions too. So I could use any of these to complement my design, but I want to stick with the main brand, which is this. Make it smaller, and perhaps I'll bring it down. I'm gonna take that to the background because I don't want it to cover my design. So all right, so we'll find out the website of King's Church. Let's say King's Church Gillingham. All right, they've got a website, and then we can see that that's a web link. Is a website. We'll pick the website and then we'll close that tab. I'll come to text. Remember, we have got the logo, the sub icon to support our design elements, and remember the next element in design is text. You click on text, and the website link is of course text, except if you want to make it a barcode. We'll come back to that later. So you add text and then you paste the link. Did I copy that link? Oh, I failed to copy it. All right, so I've just copied it again and then paste. It's still not pasting. Why is that? Copy. And then paste. Oh, it's still not working well. I think I have to write it. I have to type it out myself. So King's Church, let's be sure, King's Church Gillingham. Gillingham.com. Remember to put the www dots. It's not all the time that you need it if you want to go minimalist. So here is the yeah, black, and you don't want black on the red, you want an opposite color, so to show high level of contrast. So you can bold in that, so you can see how that is standing. So let's start thinking about the content of this particular flyer. Let's say join us to worship. Yeah, you could pick any of these templates if you wanted to with Canva, but I will encourage you to always create yours. So I'll just delete this and say worship with us. This is terrible anyway. I don't like that fonts. Let's see. Yeah, if this was your message, that would be it. But that's not our message. Let's delete that, and then we'll go to an image. We need an image now. We've worked with image with a logo and then text. We've got colors and shape in there. Let's think about, oh, this up. Yes, I think this is nice. Is it? No, this. Let's have a feel of this. We can say, okay, now this is an image right here. I could spread it, but then maybe I don't really want to spread it, and I want to just say, oh, set as background image. It goes straight into the background as an image, and I can double tap to adjust as I want. Oh, this is Jamila, and Jamila is on the stream at the moment, and so we can put this up there. I don't know, how does this look? Yeah, oh yeah, the fonts that I used earlier, I said it's terrible because it's not appealing, it's not graphical, it is not artistic. It would have been good with just worship alone. Yeah, let's give that a try again. I bring in the same template, exact templates. And then editing it, I say worship live. Let's say worship live. Let's say that's our message. This is obviously not a, okay, let's reduce the size first, and then I'm reducing the font size here. Now we've got this. You can see there's a problem here, and the problem is that you can't read the live clearly, so I need to change the color. So I'll probably choose an opposite color that can contrast. White comes out, but it's falling into the background. So what do I do in this case? I need a shadow to raise it up. So on Canva you can find shadow under effects, and you can see there's a shadow, but shadow is not looking good. I can actually adjust it to look good and make it black. You can see it's popping up gradually, but maybe I want to just lift it. I could just use this. You see the difference? None, and this is being lifted. White, yeah, white works. So, and then I can increase the intensity, and you can see. So guys, that's just the basic elements. We've got picture in the background. Can as well reduce the transparency of this picture depending on what you want, and you can as well do something I like to do, what is that particular thing. Watch out for what happens there. I draw another image over this. I'll bring it this way. I'll make this black color, and then I reduce my opacity, which is the transparency, and then I'll send it gradually to the back. Though I've got something affected there, which is the logo. Can you see the difference? I bet you really can't see it. I'm just gonna take it. Can you see the difference? You see that one is cooler than the other, so you're better off using a white logo. Yeah, let's see if I've got a white background logo. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, I just put that over it so I can get the exact positions. So now, what would you say is the main message here? Worship life. Although in terms of hierarchy, you see the King's Church first because that's the logo, but the main message is worship life. So guys, so that is for today's session on this live stream. I hope you've learned one or two things. Please ask questions if you've got questions at the moment. And the task and challenge for you is to sign up on the Canva and replicate this design. I'm going to share a view only version of this with the theme. I'm going to post it. Only you can access, anyone can have access, and I would say can view. I'll copy the link and I'll also share below the stream so you can have access to that afterwards. I hope this makes sense to you. Oh, I said I shouldn't leave. All right, Miriam, what questions have you got? Have you got any questions for me? We really want to keep this within 30 minutes and do as much as we can. Please ask questions. I'll be waiting for your questions. What determines the fonts that I use? Well, it is dependent on what mood and the tone you want to use to communicate the message. First, if you want it to be casual, then you use a cozy font like the one you have got here. Church is a place of worship, is a social, religious place. Yes, it's a formal thing with God, but you want to welcome people, so you want to be less formal. You can imagine me changing this font and making it something like a Times New Roman. Let me shock you with it. Then let's say we'll go to Times or something close to that. You see that the mood will instantly change. So what do you think about this? Let's even assume that it is well aligned and all of those things. You see how it looks unprofessional, it doesn't communicate the exact thing we want to communicate. So that's one of the things. That's why I will stay with this COSI and for graphics reason. So we'll still do some great things on the on fonts. I'll teach the types of font, categories of fonts, how to choose fonts, why fonts, and how to complement different fonts. One principle is that you should not use more than 2 to 3 fonts on a page of a document. You notice that I've chosen this font, based on this logo, so it can complement, and this distance, so it can also complement. And if you look closely into this, you see that the font here is similar to this and it's close to this because that's the church brand. So, any more questions? Yeah, Hydrobit says it is almost too serious. Yeah. So, having a close look at these two designs, you can see that we've got picture, headline, and message. But the thing that we missed in our design is that we have not included the time. Well, although it is captured here, so we want to include the time now. It's very important that you include that. If you wanted to, I could say, let me see if there's any template for time, not to make you lazy. Okay, I could just type. Let's come to this subhead. Free fonts every Sunday by 10 a.m. 10 and 12. Now let's say 10 a.m. This is not the best of fonts, so I have to change that to what I want. So what fonts will I use here? We've got different categories of fonts. We have the sans serif, we have the scripts and more. So this particular stream is still going to be available for rewatch. You can see that there are categories of fonts here: handwriting, display, paragraph, serif, sans serif, rounded. I'll just pick rounded for this design and then it gives me a list of rounded. We've got mostly premium fonts here, and then I'll just go to Nolito. It may give me what I want. Yeah, I can just come down here, effects. Now come here. I make everything uppercase. And yeah, when you're still under effects, I could give it a background to distinguish it, to make it different from every other content. You can see this. Yeah, it could be anything that you want. Yeah, that's like the idea. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this particular session. You can always come back to watch. Yeah, Hydrobit said not informative enough because we just kept it simple. So worship live every Sunday by 10 blah blah. You can make it as information, but as informative as you want, but you don't want to make it complicated. It's very, very important. It's very, very important that you don't make it complicated. So guys, this is where we'll pause today and we'll continue this same time next week. Yeah, by 5:30 next week. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in my next stream. Cheers.